We got to know you from the John Waters movie.
Yeah, I'm seeing him later. I'm having lunch with him
You're
right
kidding.
after this.
You're in LA.
He's here. Yeah.
Please give him my love.
I will.
Does he?
Yeah, he's...
No, okay.
Speaking of one in a million, you know?
Speaking of one in a million, you know, I was thinking of him recently because we went to the Met Ball recently, and the camp was the theme.
Yeah, why wasn't he there?
Why wasn't he there?
Why wasn't I there?
Why weren't you there? Why? It's interesting. People don't get camp. Were you familiar with his movies before you did?
I was not. I was 18 and I was a freshman in college. I'd never been around openly gay people. Like, I was really sheltered.
But you're from New York.
I'm from Westchester.
Westchester.
Westchester, so just outside the city, and I went to Ithaca College. I fell in love with my first guy that didn't want to be with a fat girl, I thought, but he was gay, and he came out in sophomore year. So I just was so sheltered and naive, and then John Waters, like, changed my whole world. We were working with Divine and learned how to walk in
the
high
movie
heels.
Hairspray.
Yeah,
the first one.
Movie. My first movie, and I mean, what a phenomenon. I mean, that movie. There we are.
Yes.
That was my hair, by the way. That was all my hair.
Your real hair.
It was never the same after that. He made me do that to my hair. But it was the role of a lifetime, and it opened every door for me, and I'm so grateful to him.
And then it spawned all these the Broadway production, and the Broadway production, the movie version of that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. I mean, the character Tracy Turnblad is such an iconic role model for so many people who feel like they're an underdog or an outsider. And I feel like because that character was so much me, and I think people really relate to me, that I'm really not the person telling people how to live their life like some other talk show hosts. Like, I really am trying to figure it out. I'm like one of you. And I think having my start as that character Tracy has kind of led me in this path that I've had.
And she's so body positive too, which was the real big takeaway from that movie before its time, actually.
I would think I was one of the first like heavy set ingenues ever, you know, and I was treated just like the girl who wins the guy. Like, it wasn't, you know, it was just, you know, and kind of like the way I treated people on my show. Everyone, every relationship, whether it was gay or straight, biracial, it was treated like everyone else.
That's
you know?
Right. Tell me your memories of Divine, because Divine obviously was a big.
Did you know Divine?
I did not. I met Divine once at a party for Hairspray. Okay. It was at Indochine in New York.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was at that party. Michael Musto was there.
Yes, everybody was there.
Oh
I met Divine then, but we didn't. That was it. Just hi, how are you doing? What were your memories of Divine?
Well, Divine didn't like me at first.
Really?
Because he wanted, it wasn't personal, but he wanted to play both parts, because in Female Trouble, and I think Desperately, he plays the mother and the daughter. You guys are too young.
Yeah, they're too young,
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And it's weird, I'm too young for that too, but I've now since seen those movies, which are classics. So he wanted to play Tracy and the mom.
Yeah.
And so he didn't like it at first, but then he got used to me, and then he would, you know, he just took me under his wing, and I remember, you know, taking him to, I went to his apartment in New York after the movie, before the movie had opened, but we were hanging out with a party, and he's like, come, Ricki, come eat a pie. Come share a roast. Like, he wanted me to eat with him. And he always wore these shirts that said smile. He had like every color with a giant shirt. He was, you know, he was a circle. He was as round as they come. Yeah. And he was an amazing professional actor.
Yeah, the first real drag queen superstar.
But he didn't consider himself a drag queen.
What did he consider himself?
He was an actor who was hired to dress as a woman. Just like when you were on Andy's show with me, and I said, you're not dressed as a woman. You said, honey, I'm not getting paid for this gig. That's what you said.
I did say that. I did.
So yeah, Divine did not consider himself to be a transvestite or a drag queen. He was an actor that was paid to dress as a woman.
Whose career and life was sadly cut short.
He died 8 days after the movie opened.
Yeah.
Which was such a weird, for me, I literally was like Tracy Turnblad becoming a star with this movie. So I was having my breakout, this high, the highest high I'd ever experienced, with the trauma of losing my co-star in his sleep. He was doing an episode of Married with Children.
That's right.
And he didn't wake up. I mean, it was really, he was 42 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
so
insane.
young. But his legacy lives on even through this show.